Hello, my name is Jacob, and this is my co-host, Tommy.
Hey guys, today in this segment we're going to talk to you about life in the 1980s.
Clearly, times have changed, and we were not born in the 1980s.
However, we have done some research and would like to tell you about what we found and how important and the information is we found.
Our first segment of the 80s that we would like to discuss is important events.
Hey Jacob, did you know that in the 1980s Nike came out with their famous tagline, "Just Do It"?
Fascinating. I love Nike. However, did you know that Pac-Man was introduced and was a hit immediately at the arcades?
I did not, but it's a great game. However, today's games are more creative and innovative, especially NBA 2K16.
Indeed. However, there were many other interesting events that took place in the 1980s. Like, do you remember Michael Jackson?
Yeah, bro, it's not like I live under a rock.
Well, his album Thriller was released in 1982 and had over 20 million album sales.
That's a lot of sales. Even most career artists today don't hit that many hits.
Speaking of musical artists, John Lennon was assassinated on December 8th, 1980 by Mark David Chapman.
You know, that's a real shame. The Beatles were famous, and no one knows how good they could have been if he were still alive. However, on the bright side, there are also some major technology advancements. Have you ever heard of Apple?
Oh yeah. Didn't they release the Macintosh in like 1984, and aren't we using the MacBook Pro to record this video right now?
Yeah, it's a great piece of technology. You know, they've come a long way. Also, did you know that Motorola released the first mobile phone in 1983?
Now, that's important, but let's get serious and talk about some real news. Hooters was started in 1982 by 6 brilliant entrepreneurs.
Although that did occur, Jacob, I think that Ronald Reagan being elected in 1980 was a little bit more important.
I guess you're right. But what about Mount St. Helens erupting on May 18th, 1980, after being dormant for precisely 123 years?
Yeah, I remember that. Oh, wait. Yeah, I wasn't there. However, I did hear that the eruption destroyed over 200 homes.
To end our little history segment, one of the most important events that occurred in the 1980s was the Cold War ending in 1989 when they took down the Berlin Wall.
That's interesting. Welcome back. Now let's compare some prices of items today and the prices they were in the past, in the 80s.
The average price of milk costs $1.59, but today it costs close to $3.50.
That's outrageous. That's pretty expensive milk. Must be getting organic or something. And also, another crazy thing, the average price of a home was only $76,400. Today's homes are an average of $223,000. That is insane.
Holy crap! Talk about going bankrupt.
Even though these prices sound unreal, and the average income has also increased.
Instead of making only $12,500, today the average income is about $53,600. So in the long run, we can afford those insanely expensive houses in today's markets.
Most of you watching this probably know that today a 4-year college can cost up to hundreds of thousands of dollars. However, back in the 80s, a 4-year college degree was only $9,500.
Please, someone just build a time machine.
Even though the price of cars have changed as well.
Yes, I know. In the 1980s, a new car cost $7,200 to $12,000. But today, the average cost of a new car is close to $31,200 at the lowest.
Man, America is not cheap. However, clothes were on the cheaper side back then. I just wish we could just build a time machine and go back to the 80s and everything would be cheaper.
Exactly. It's kind of ridiculous that the average pair of jeans costs $40 today, and back in the 80s, jeans cost about $20.
Wow, that's pretty crazy, especially because jeans today, most of them just have rips down the leg. You're getting even less material. On the other popular clothing during the 80s was shoulder pads, mini skirts, leg warmers, which I think are pretty weird, and even parachute pants.
Clothing was pretty radical in the 1980s, and I'd love to bring back the parachute pants.
Yeah, I think they provide a lot of comfort when it comes to pants.
Especially since people like us that don't like to wear jeans.
Yeah.
But also, the entertainment industry in the 1980s was booming.
Yeah, there were many new songs, movies, TV shows, and even books that are still popular today.
Some popular music artists include Michael Jackson, Aerosmith,
Good band.
Whitney Houston, and NWA.
Sadly, she died. And NWA just had Straight Outta Compton. Great movie.
Good.
And don't forget about Europe. Guns N' Roses, Ozzy Osbourne, Crazy Train. No, he's always off the rails. And even LL Cool J.
Oh, I love LL Cool J. Didn't he just pass away?
No.
Oh. Never mind then. However, music was not the only form of entertainment. Hey, Tommy, what do you like to do on a crummy, rainy day?
Let's see. Probably like to watch a movie either on Netflix or go to the movie with my friends. And that's a great question because movies in the 80s were also very popular.
Some great movies, for example, was Indiana Jones series, the Star Wars series, E.T.,
A lot of action movies.
Back to the Future, and even many more.
Yeah, those are all great movies, but personally, my favorite from the 1980s was probably Predator. How about you, Jacob?
I enjoyed the Star Wars movies, and I have been a fan since I was pretty much born.
Yeah, I can tell about all the posters you have around this room. But anyways,
we weren't going to talk about it.
there are many hit TV shows as well.
Some popular TV shows included The Simpsons, Full House, and The Today Show.
Don't forget about Saturday Night Live, which is still popular today, and The Price is Right.
It's always right. I'm typically not a reading type of person, but some books from the 1980s that I have enjoyed were Ender's Game, A Light in the Attic, and the Stephen King series.
Even though I've never read any of these books, but I have been told by many people these are some great reads on a rainy day. Finally, oh no, that's the next thing. Finally, the big question, what was the American dream in the 1980s?
Mainly, this is an opinionated question that would have different answers from many different people. But after doing some research, we concluded that
the American dream was to make a lot of money, buy a big home, like most people want to do today, and have a steady job and raise the perfect family, which is send your kids to college and give them the opportunity to make more money than you did.
This was ideal for most everyone, but today, however, people are starting to change their American dream and mostly focus on the money-making part.
It's all about the money, like that song.
It is all about the money.
Thank you guys for watching. Hope to see you back next time for our book review of The Raising the Sun. Now for a cool evolution of the 1980s.
So true, funny how it seems, always in time, but never in line for dreams. Head over heels, went toe to toe. This is the sound of my soul.